Hi everyone, it's Maria here, makeup artist and green beauty expert. Today we're going to talk a little bit about mineral makeup because it seems that it's a lot of companies have actually gone that direction and switched their makeup into mineral makeup. But however, it's not a new thing. Mineral makeup actually came out in the 70s, so it's been around for a long time. But now that we're all looking for healthier alternatives, it's been, I guess, making a big comeback in the past, I don't know, let's say 10 years or so. So you'll see a lot of kind of the mainstream conventional brands trying to go the direction of mineral makeup. Today, I wanted to give you some of the pros of mineral makeup and some of the cons, because yes, there are some. And, and hopefully that will help you make some better decisions, some more informed decisions if you decide to buy mineral makeup. I'm going to focus on the foundations today. I'm going to talk about the loose foundation, the loose powder foundation, and not get so much into eyeshadows or products that have color like that, because I find that those are kind of a personal choice. I think a good foundation, is more necessary. I think a lot of us would likely use a foundation first before doing the eyes, let's say. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just assuming. Okay, so and for powders, that can be one of the quickest thing, to throw on the powder, pressed powder or loose powder before you run out the door. It can help you control shine. It can even out your skin tone, mattify, all those things. So it's actually something that most of us have. Okay, so I'll start out with the good stuff. Okay, I'll start out with the pros and I'll give you three of them. And then I'm going to move into the cons and then give you three of those. And if you have any questions about this information that I give you and I haven't, or something that I haven't covered, just let me know. You can post something on the thread and I'll make sure I get back to you. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to say is that mineral makeup is not going to be for everyone, okay? But one of the pros of mineral makeup is that it is better for your skin. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you're using a true mineral makeup, you're using way less ingredients on your skin as opposed to a conventional foundation. So if you have a product that has, let's say, a list of 15 to 20 ingredients, and let's say you have sensitive skin or you want to cut back, you actually want to read the label and understand the label of your product, of your foundation, what you're putting on. Mineral makeup is a great option. So a true mineral powder should have very few ingredients. I would probably say, 4 to 6 or something like that. So what you need to look for is zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, mica, and iron oxides. Okay, so those ingredients can actually create it's the foundation of what you need in mineral makeup. Now, a lot of conventional brands also contains those ingredients, and that's why they are able to come and say, hey, we have mineral makeup as well. However, they also add other things to cut it down, to make it cheaper. They use fillers. Those fillers, depending on what they decide to use, will then need to be preserved with something. So maybe they're adding preservatives, maybe they're adding fragrance, all kinds of things. So rule of thumb is, if you do have sensitive skin and you want to have something that will be a little bit better for your skin and not using a product that is just packed with ingredients you cannot understand, mineral is a great option. Because it has less ingredients, it doesn't need preservatives. Those minerals that I mentioned do not need to be preserved by anything. Okay, so once you start adding to that, then you might need some form of preservation. All right, so that's why it's great for sensitive skin. Also, if it has a higher percentage of zinc oxide, for any of you out there who are moms, you will know that most of your diaper rash creams that you're using on your little ones contain zinc oxide, and that's because zinc oxide has calming effect on the skin. All right, so if you have sensitive skin, again, the zinc oxide is a great ingredient to have on there. And then the titanium dioxide is actually a natural sunscreen. Okay, so minerals provide a physical barrier, a physical block against the sun. It might not be enough for you to go tanning in Mexico. Okay, you're gonna need something underneath or maybe on top, depending on the kind of product you want to use. But if you're, let's say you're out really quickly and you're running some errands, you're going to be in and out, that might be enough protection for you. And it can also, and it also helps add protection to your sunscreen if you already have that physical block. Okay, so physical block as opposed to a chemical block, which is what the SPF, etc., is when it's added to product. And the other thing too with mineral makeup being good, better for your skin, is that it has no mineral oils. It contains no fragrance. Okay, so some of those really kind of irritating ingredients. Okay, so that's the first point. Okay, that it's better for your skin than conventional. And yes, it is. Okay, for those reasons that I just listed. The other one is that the second pro is that it can be very natural looking. Okay, the fact that you're just applying it with a brush, and I have something here that I can show you. So a flat top brush such as this, and you just kind of like buffing it on, it will give you a really nice dewy finish. Minerals have glow properties from nature because they have they are made out of like little reflective I don't know, molecules. I guess they have reflective properties. So kind of like 1,000 little mirrors on your face, they're going to reflect that light and bounce off that light. Okay, so that can create that really beautiful, sheer, glowy look that people are looking for nowadays. Okay. The third point is, and I've heard this, and it could be, or maybe I'll take this one a little bit with a grain of salt, is that it's convenient. Okay, and yes, it can be if you don't need to add other products to it. And what do I mean by that? So having a little powder, right, like powder foundation, such as this. It can do so many things. Okay, so you can apply it as a powder. If you actually apply it with a flat top kabuki brush, you will get a fuller coverage. You're going to pick up more product and apply that to the skin. And if you actually decide to apply it with something fluffier, such as this, you can actually do a light dusting just to control shine and oil. And there you go. It can be two different uses. The other thing you could do, you could actually take a little bit of your mineral powder and mix it into your cream, or maybe your sunscreen. Play around and see how it does. And then that creates a tinted moisturizer. Okay, so there's a third use. If you prefer liquid, okay, you want to give your face cream a little bit of coverage. Take some of your powder and add it in. And it can also be built up. So if you are looking for heavier coverage, you're going to have to do that a layer at a time. And then you're just going to have to build it up. Okay, so apply it, buff it, see how it looks. You need a little bit more, you go back in, apply another layer, buff it. Okay, so those are some of the ways it can be used. However, another tip, because I'm going to go traveling next month. Some of these depends on what you buy. Okay, this product here is by Pure Anada, and it has this beautiful little sifting lid, I guess. So you can actually control how many little holes you open up. Okay, this is very smart packaging. I've seen others, I'm not going to mention any names, but you open it up and oh my goodness, the minute that has tossed around in your bag, it is horrible. You really don't know how to get the product back in. When I worked for Makeup Forever, for example, they had this kind of hard top, lid with the little holes, but they had nothing to control it. So for example, Pure Anada has that lid that actually rotates and closes, and it exposes a certain number of the holes. That's amazing for travel. Otherwise, what I had to do before with my conventional product, I would just grab Scotch tape or masking tape, whatever you want to do, and actually tape up some of those holes. So if you already have a powder that's giving you trouble, that's actually a way to actually plug some of that up. Tap your product back in and then plug up some of those holes, okay, with tape or something like that. People also say that if you do use mineral foundation, that you might not need to use concealer. Okay, you know how I feel about concealer, many of you. This would not be the case with me. I would need to use concealer with the mineral makeup. Okay, so that is very personal. It depends how amazing your skin is. It depends if you have really severe dark circles or not. Okay, so I know for me, there's no way I would be cutting out my concealer. So so it can help you cut back on some products, like I mentioned. Like you don't need a separate powder. You can make it into a tinted moisturizer, but everything beyond that, it just depends on your skin, how amazing your skin is, how dark your circle is, how often you break out, and then you kind of, be your own judge and go from there. All right. So now I'm going to get into some of the cons, because there are some, unfortunately, and it's important for you to know that if you do decide to go shopping for mineral makeup. So with mineral makeup, number one, you have to check the ingredients. Did you know that pretty much all makeup is mineral? Like if it contains a little bit of zinc oxide or it contains titanium dioxide, they can say that it's mineral. Okay, so there you have it. But however, as I said before, like a true mineral makeup will not need to have all of those other ingredients. You don't need to have mineral makeup that contains fragrance. I mean, like, what is the reason? Why does it need to smell? Preservatives. If you have your zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, mica, and iron oxides, those 4 ingredients, that does not need to be preserved. Okay, these are inorganic compounds. And the other thing I wanted to say, if you go and buy something and they're like, oh, this is organic mineral makeup, well, minerals, like, there's no way that is true. So it's bogus. They're selling you on the fact that it's organic, unless they've added other ingredients in there, and those are organic. That's the only way. Otherwise, those powders and those minerals I mentioned, they are inorganic compounds. This is like a scientific rule. Okay, so you cannot have organic mineral makeup unless things have been added to it. The ingredients are quite important, because you can have mineral powders that do different things. Okay, so for example, you can have something that's a finishing veil, or it gives you a nice glow. You can have something that's more, it is your foundation, so it has to have more oil absorbent qualities. Those factors, or those abilities in these powders can alter the ingredients. Okay, so what are some of the other ingredients you need to look for in there? You need to look for bismuth oxychloride. That stuff will clog your pores. Okay, it will also accentuate scars, large pores, wrinkles. Okay, so if you have amazing skin, mineral foundation can be a perfect match for you. Okay, however, if you don't, you need to be very careful at what they're adding. Okay, even something like mica, and even the ingredients I listed for, the zinc oxide, the titanium dioxide, I already mentioned that those have reflective qualities from nature. So if you have things on your face that you don't want to draw attention on, perhaps mineral powder foundation is not a good match for you. Okay, the other thing that you need to watch out for, so I already mentioned the bismuth oxychloride, and that will give even more of a shine to the face. But mica and zinc oxide and titanium dioxide and the iron oxides will also naturally do that. So watch out for this one. Bismuth oxychloride can clog your pores. You don't want it in your mineral makeup. You don't need it in your mineral makeup. Okay, and the other one, it's not harmful. Okay, it's clay. that is obviously put into the mineral foundation to absorb oil, to control shine, etc. However, if you already have dry skin, clay, think of it, clay, what does it do? It absorbs things. It will dry you out. So you need to watch out for stuff like that if it's been added. So I'm talking about like kaolin clay, and that's added to a lot of masks. There's nothing wrong with it. However, for your purposes, if you already have drier skin and you have, the wrinkles and you have flakiness, that will give you it will be horrible. Do not use it. It's going to make it worse. And it's also going to dry you out even farther. And then those reflective qualities, now that's going to reflect that dryness. It's not going to make your skin look good at all. Okay. So proper skincare here is essential. You need to have an amazing skincare habits to be able to wear mineral makeup and have it do what it's supposed to do, which is to give this amazing glowing skin. I'm not going to talk about too many more things. The second one would be, and I kind of already mentioned, it can collect in fine lines and pores, wrinkles. So you need to have fantastic skincare. So that was my second one. And then the third one is that if you are looking for that coverage, or if you have, if you're of a specific ethnicity and you have that, specific skin tone, you might not be able to find a good match. Okay, so for coverage, you need to build it up. And most of us might not have time to do 3 different applications or 3 different, layers of this to get the coverage. So if you're looking for heavier coverage, mineral makeup might not be for you. And also if you are, of a specific ethnicity, race, and you have a skin tone that's harder to match, you might also not be able to find your shade perfectly. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. And if you are going to decide to go for pressed or loose, pretty much that can be convenience, because the pressed can be easily thrown in your bag and and taken with you to work or as you go about your day. However, just know that anything that's pressed, and it needs to be kept in that cake form, right? So think about it, loose minerals, they're ground and poof, they go into a little container like this. So in order for those things to be put into a cake, to be packed like that, you need more ingredients. So again, check your ingredients if you have sensitive skin. You will need something to bind it together. So some of the better companies might use something like jojoba oil. That's a great binding agent, but other ones will not use jojoba, will use other stuff. So always be diligent, check your ingredients. The less ingredients you have, the better. And just make sure you know what they are. If it's a mineral, it has to sound like a mineral, like that's what it is, right? And if they're adding anything to it, just make sure you know what it is and why it's there, right? Like fragrance would have no place in a mineral foundation. I mean, why does your face need to smell? Okay, but a binder, if it's a cake, if they're adding jojoba or something like this, like that makes sense. Just make sure that the binder is something natural, something you understand, and something that's not going to irritate your skin. Okay, so that was a lot of information. I hope I covered a little bit of everything and taught you something new today. And if you have any questions or personal concerns about mineral makeup or how to select a mineral makeup, let me know. Okay, next month on April 16th, I'm going to be doing, is it the 16th? Oh my goodness, let me just check my calendar here. It's the Sunday. No, I'm sorry. It's April the 15th, and it's a Sunday. I'm going to be at Witchwood Barns here in Toronto for the Healthy Moms Marketplace, and I am going to be working with one of my favorite brands, which is Pure Anada, and they do the mineral makeup. So if you are curious, if you wanted to try it, if you wanted me to put it on you and see what it looks like, this would be a good place to try and catch me. And that's because that's where I'll be, okay, for the day from 9:30 to about 3:30. Okay, so come check it out. Come say hello. I would love to see you there. And again, it's on April 5th, April 15th. It's a Sunday. It's free admission at Witchwood Barns here in Toronto. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you here next week. Okay, have a wonderful Wednesday, everyone. Bye.